I don't want to be too optimistic about this, but I am starting to see more and more across the country that high-profile Republicans are starting to at least kind of come to the realization that Donald Trump is the problem. Now, the Republicans are still trying to work on their autopsy report from the 2022 midterms. Why don't people like us? Well, the answer is Donald Trump, guys. Trump, Trumpism, the MAGA movement, all of it, of course, tied to Donald Trump. That's why the public has turned against you. It really is that simple. If you choose to actually look at what's happening. But the reason I'm slightly optimistic that Republicans are starting to come to that realization is because you have people, even like Lindsey Graham, who have come out within the last week or so and said, quote, Trump has got to prove to people he can win, and the more people he can get in the race, I think probably the better, because you'll have some points of comparison. Now, that may not seem like an important statement to you, but let me explain what Lindsey Graham is trying to say here. Trump has been a serial loser ever since he entered politics. Yes, he won the 2016 election because of the Electoral College. He lost the popular vote by 3 million votes. He lost the House in 2018, lost the Senate and the White House in 2020, caused Republicans to not create their red wave in 2022. He has been a drag on the party ever since he entered politics. So that's what Graham is basically trying to say in the nicest way possible. He has to prove to people he can win. And then, of course, talking about all these other Republicans possibly entering the 2024 race, that's Lindsey Graham saying, listen, Trump can go out there and say, I did this, and they can't say that because they weren't president. But Lindsey Graham has doubts. That's the important takeaway. One of Donald Trump's closest friends and allies is now doubting whether or not he can cruise to an easy victory in 2024. A couple months ago, Lindsey Graham was talking about Trump winning it all very easily. Now he doesn't even think that's possible. Gets even further. Republican Senator John Thune of South Dakota says, quote, in an election year where it should have been a referendum on the current administration and their policies, the Dems were in many cases able to turn it into a choice election because of Trump's presence out there. So was he a factor? I don't think there's any question about that. A lot of the candidates who had problems these elections were running on the 2020 election being stolen, and I don't think independent voters were having it. So John Thune gets it. Republican senator, again, from South Dakota. He gets it. He understands it's Donald Trump. He's the problem. It's him. Lindsey Graham understands it, but he can't quite say it. Other Republicans have, of course, not danced around so much. They have admitted Donald Trump is bringing us down. Republican strategists, Republican pollsters, conservative media hosts, they get it. All of them get it, whether they admit it or not. They know Trump is the problem. But the fact that more and more of them are willing to come out and almost say it, that's what makes me optimistic. Because again, deep down, they all know it's true. They just have to speak up a little louder so that they might be able to wrestle control of their party away from that lunatic at the golf course.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.